But hey, good afternoon, everybody. At least I think it's 12:19, so afternoon. So hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in to our not daily. We try to do it daily, but we got on here yesterday, not today. Broadcast. So coming live from across. So if you hear noise or knocking, the dog starts barking, whatever, it's because we are live here today on this beautiful Wednesday, the year of our Lord 2023, December 26th. So
7th.
Or that's 26. I guess it's 26. Yep, it is 27. Day off on the 27th. I even looked at my watch too on that, so my bad. We're gonna be back over in 1 Peter chapter 5. I read through 6 down through 11 yesterday. Last night in our men's group, I did 1 through 5, and we turned out where it was talking about being a guide and protect the flock, talking about elders, pastors, spiritual leaders. I flipped it to our guys as family, as protectors, as fathers, as grandfathers, as uncles, and things like that. So we had a really good meeting last night, so I appreciate all the men that came out. I missed some of our regulars, but I know a lot of people still doing Christmas or gone, or things like that. So, but we had a good meeting last night. So we read verse 6 through 11 yesterday, so I done verse 6 yesterday, so I'm going to do verse 7 today. It says, "Cast all your cares, all your anxieties, all your worries, all your concerns." Here's the key to this. A lot of people do this, but then they do it over and over, and they pick them right back up and take them. Here's the key to this. A lot of people cast, but then they reel back in. Casting all your cares, all your anxieties, all your worries, all your concerns, once and for all. Don't do this over and over. Do it once, get rid of it, and rock on. Once and for all on him. Why? For he cares about you with deepest affection and watches over you very carefully. And Psalms 55:22 is one of the things they think that it lists this here in the study Bible. So I'm going to read this again. Casting, that means to throw. If you're casting a net, you're throwing it. Casting a fishing pole, you're throwing it. So casting all your cares, all your anxieties, all your worries. All right, see, a lot of times we'll keep some back. We'll throw part of them away, and then we'll do, well, I'm going to deal with it. I'm not ready to let go of it. Well, you need to get let. If it's bothering you, let go of it. Cast them all your worries, all your concerns, and here again the key. Once and for all. Don't reel them back in. Don't have the rope on your net and pull it back in like you would if you're bait casting, trying to catch some shad or whatever to bait your lines or whatever, or fishing pole to catch fish. Really, let them go. Why? He cares about you with deepest affection, and he watches over you very carefully. So when you do that, and again, what it does what Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest." And I'm not saying that I've done this properly and correctly my whole life, because I haven't. Sometimes you keep those weights on you, and they will weigh you down and wear you out in that. And notice this. Your spouse can't do this for you. Your grandpa or grandma can't do this for you. Your mom and dad, a sibling, a brother or sister can't do this. You have to cast all your cares, your worries, your anxieties, all of that on him once and for all. And again, so many people will do it. They'll come, they'll give it to God, then they'll reel it back in with, okay, I'm free from this, and then the enemy will send something around to see if you are and remind you of it or bring something up to trigger it. A lot of us, we have triggers there. Instead of just casting it on him. Why? Because he loves us very deeply, deep affection, and he cares for us, and he watches over us very carefully so that we don't get down in those pits of life that we can fall off into and get into, and the struggles of life and those things like that. So Kelly, what helps you to remember to keep casting your cares once and for all, your worries, your anxieties? I'm interested to see this response here on that.
Well, and we both know I'm not good at that. I will cast them, and I will lay them down, and I will leave them there. But then as soon as the enemy brings it up to me, I pick it right back up. And I am a worrier. I really believe I got that from my grandmother. She was a worrier. She worried all the time. But it's hard for me to just let him handle it. I am learning that. And this morning when I woke up, and I was a little frustrated, a little bit, I don't know how to say what I was. I just kept saying over and over, "Lord, I trust you. I trust you to handle this situation. I trust you to do this. I trust you to do that. I trust you." And in doing that, it helps me to let go of those things that I want to hold on to.
Okay. You know, and you said something there, and I've said this before, I try not to, but it's kind of our cliche in America. Well, I got this from my mom or dad or my grandma. You might have seen that.
I did.
But when you see that, so we kind of, we absorb what we see. But also, What if Grandma was full of faith? Do we absorb that? It seems like we always want to absorb the bad and
Yeah,
not the
that's
good.
true.
And then that's the human fallen nature in sin. So when you have that, when you have a grandma, a mom, a dad, a spouse, whoever it is that has influenced you to worry, to have fear, to have doubt, both of my grandmothers were pretty good about not worrying. My grandma Millie was a little bit more of a worrier than my Grandma Lenny was, my mom's mom, with that. But my grandmother was divorced at a young age and remarried, and that guy had 2 kids. My dad and my Uncle Virgil, through Johnny Clark. Then they divorced, and then she married a guy named Ike Hampton and had 3 children, Susie, Tilly, and Jimmy. Out of that marriage, and he died. I was a little guy. I barely remember him. I can remember. What I remember is he liked to fish in Salt Creeks, right there where they lived, and he would bring perch up there and put a little cane pole on. Had a big tub out on the outside, and I would stand there by that little pole, and then them perch I would get them. And I can remember about him laughing at me catching those fish. That's about the only memory I have of him. 'Cause I was pretty little. I don't know how little, 4 or 5. I don't know. When he passed, and my grandmother never remarried after that, so did a lot as kids, left, which my Aunt Susie never did, but dealing with that. So she had a lot of stress on her, didn't drive when he passed away, had to go learn how to drive, had never worked, had been a stay-at-home wife and mother. At that, got into the workplace and then worked at the Yale Nursing Home for a lot of years. I would go up there after school and come down, and even worked when Lori and I got married. She was still working at that time, and stuff, and go down and see my grandmother was very hard. But she did worry and have some concern. But I also know that she was a prayer warrior. Many times I would come in from frog hunting, coon hunting as a kid, and hear her in there praying for me, for her family and stuff, at night, just trying to slip in and be quiet so, not wake anybody up, which was always good because if you caught some frogs or whatever, she'd always go cook them for you right then. And I ate a lot of frog legs in her kitchen at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning as a kid. But you do have people influence you in things and stuff like that. I know that my kids, we moved out there when Lori and I and the kids, when, I don't know, the kids were little. They were both born. They were pretty young, to be closer to her, to help her. The kids would go down and feed the birds and help her and stuff. I would go down in the mornings, hang out with her, drink coffee. Lori and the kids would go down in the evenings and get her around for bed and things like that and stuff like that. And she was always very thankful. So I always remember talking about, good things versus bad things. But how kind my grandmother was. She fed birds, stray dogs, stray cats, stray people. I'd drag some of my buddies in there, or in high school and come out there, or even after I got grown and moved out there, some guys that worked for me. First thing she'd ask you, are you guys hungry? Do you need something to eat? And it might just be a sandwich. She was always good about keeping chicken patties, those frozen Swan breaded chicken patty things. And I don't know, she could throw them in them iron skillets. She always cooked on iron skillet, stuff like that, and pour a little bacon grease on it. And man, them things taste like she just killed a fresh chicken, and stuff like that. So, but then a lot of times we remember the negative like that, the worry, and we go back to what we see. But so whatever it is, good or bad, that you remember and go through and deal with, just remember this: cast it on God. If it's an anxiety, if it's a worry, if it's a weight, get rid of it. Hebrews says to lay aside the every weight, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and run our race with endurance. When you run, if you go look at runners' marathon run, they're all about weight. Who has the lightest shoe? They wear little light shorts, and if they do wear a shirt, it's real silky looking light material, because they don't want to pack that extra weight, because it slows them down when you're running multiple miles, not just 1 or 2. All of that then adds up in the day. It's the same way with us. Our weights add up on our lives.
Sure.
Weight of marriage, weight of raising children, weight of what do you call your job? Not a job. What's that word?
Responsibilities?
No. Gosh dang. Career.
No.
The weight of a career comes upon you, things like that. And your responsibilities of your job. All those things can become weights. They can become anxieties. They can become worries. They can become cares. I probably have more concern. I don't worry about them, but I have more concern and cares about my children now as adult children than I did when they was at home, because at home I had control. I knew they had to come home every night. I kind of knew, and I've got good kids. You know, we're very blessed to have the children that we have in that with Caitlin and Connor and Colton Kaysen and things like that. Lori worries more about them than I do. Stella's whacking the camera. If the camera's there, Stella's whacking it with her tail. So we have it, and Kelly's got. I don't have grandkids, anything like that. So if we do have to take care of some of our kids' has, it's a dog. Thank God they ain't got cats, but they all have dogs that Lori more so than I go in and feed them and things like that. But all these cares and worries and concerns, it can come from marriage stress, work stress, church stress, children stress, whatever it is. But the main thing is keep casting and keep remembering God will take it. Because a lot of times we think he doesn't care. Well, that's minute. That's really not that big a deal because it's not life or death. Well, if it bothers you, it matters to God. That's why in that it said, let me reread that so I word it correctly. In that, it says he watches over you very carefully to know that. So just like you watched over, hopefully, your children very carefully. Some parents don't. I wasn't, what do you call that, like where you hover? Helicopter mom. Lori was. We got into a lot of difference of opinions on that with her kids, and she was mine. You know, I'd get them out of the car seat, bounce them off the dash feeding cows. Caitlin busted her lip one time, me getting after a cow because I took her. They like to stand up, count the cows out the window and things like that. And I mean, I wouldn't ever make them ride a car seat. A lot of times going down the dirt roads and stuff like that. Their mother was completely, totally different in that. Some parents are very, very protective. I didn't make my kids wear a helmet when they rode their bikes. I didn't wear a helmet when they rode their car. I'm not making fun of people that do. I know a lot of kids come out here, play days, wear helmets. Some don't. I'm not saying it's bad or saying it's wrong, but we all have a difference of opinion of what bothers us. I'm saying all of that to say this. Whether, again, it's mother, father, the kids, grandpa, grandma, your own kids, whatever it is. Everybody's going to look at things differently. But it's how we go back and break it down on an individual basis. This is where I disagree with a lot of people. You've got to do you.
That's right.
Now, you can't be selfish in doing you, but you've got to keep your peace. Your spouse can't keep your peace. Your kids can't keep your peace. Your kids can't keep your faith. Your kids can't do that because, as we know, they're going to grow up, move off, hopefully, and go on and be productive, successful humans. So, again, it boils down. Your spouse can leave you. Your spouse can die, whatever, in that, so that you are then separated from that spouse for whatever reason in that. So, again, it's going to boil back down to have you cast your cares. Again, your spouse can't cast your cares for you. They can help. Your mom or dad can't cast your cares. They can kind of when you're little, but you get up there with some age on you, and it goes back to that. So you have to be the one that is casting that care. Again, you can encourage people to do it. You know, it's good to have people in your circle, good people in your circle. I'm very thankful for the people that are in my. I don't have a lot, and Jesus didn't have but 3 in his inner circle. You know, so because there's just not. You know, there's safety in numbers to some extent on certain things, but you got to have the right people to even have safety. You can have a lot of people, and they're
Still
dangerous.
being
Yeah, you're in greater peril or
being a
jeopardy
mess.
than them with that.
Right.
So, what do you think is the greatest hindrance? Not necessarily you, but just as I mean, you deal with a lot of the women through here and a lot of the problems when we do marriage counseling and stuff here and things like that. So you've seen through the years that you've been here, and not just as church secretary, but as counselor, women's minister, taking food to people, getting food to people. I mean, especially here lately, the last couple of years, she's done more of that, way more of that than I have at times. What do you see as the biggest hindrance of people not casting him and going to God, and then where they know that he loves you deeply and he has carefully watches over you, that so people don't stay stressed out?
Because we live in a society of instant gratification. So they think when they cast it, it should be immediately answered, and he's going to take care of it immediately, and he doesn't. Sometimes he has to work through, things have to happen in order for it all to progress and get together the way he needs it to be, not the way we need it to be. They don't have enough faith. They have faith in God, but not faith in that he will handle their problems, that he will do it the way they want him to do it.
Right.
That's the thing. We want it our way in our time right now. And that's not the kind of God we serve.
I think the key you said our way, because here, and I said this Sunday, a lot of people they don't look at the birth of Jesus as the start to the means to an end. It had to start.
Yes, it had
because
to start.
we look at eternal life, and that's all I'm saved and going to heaven. So all this hell that I go through here, I've got to deal with it by myself. I'll pray, I'll talk to God, but He just sent Jesus for me to get to heaven, and we forget. He said, I come to give you life and life more abundantly. Life that as life gets heavy, we can cast it. We can take I never got real good at throwing those nets to catch shad and stuff. My brother-in-law, Robert Warnick, was pretty good at it. I was trying to think that one guy. Earl Koch was good at it. I used to fish some with Earl, throwing them around, cast nets there. Some of them things are great. Big, them guys whoop them around and chunk them. I mean, I could get it out there, normally keep it open, but I wasn't great. Sometimes it'd wad up and fold up. I had to do it 14 times, but I never was great at it. But then I wasn't a great, I've fished with some guys. I mean, there's a limb and all these, like there's an opening that big. They'll get their whatever they're fishing with, lure, bait, top water, whatever, right in there. I'm up in the tree behind me, and that's why I never really like to fish with a pole. I like to noodle when I was younger, or throw out limb lines and stuff. So again, don't allow yourself to think I've got to do this or I've got to man up. Men are really bad about this, not sharing how we feel, not sharing our emotions, and I've got to cast all. Let me read that again, and then we'll go. Went a little longer than I intended today. Casting all your cares, all your anxieties, so that means everything. If it's a little, it don't got to be a great, big, huge, bad, anything. All. That's why I kept saying all. And your concerns. You concerned for your kids? Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned with how so many of our kids working at Ulta the last 2 years as their school resource officer. How some of our kids think and do or don't understand what's really going on. The time they spend in social media, that dictates. TikTok dictates their life more than anything in there. And other social media things that they're on. I have a concern about that, but I can give that to God, knowing that God is not only watching over me, but He's watching them, that hopefully that something I can say or do, or somebody can plant a seed, water a seed, and they will do this as life gets heavy for them. He cares about you with deepest affection and watches over you very carefully. So God bless y'all. Hope you're having a great, this is Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Okay, great. I don't know why I'm thinking it's Tuesday. A great, which we had men last night. I should know that. A great Wednesday. Hope everybody has a blessed day. Again, thank you to all our sponsors. Kelly touched on them yesterday, especially our corporate sponsors, Genesis Home Health, Turbo Trailers, Parco Tax. We have a lot of other individuals that help, didn't want their name, but thank you. Everybody, if you need home health, Genesis, great company to go in there and use. They got a gym now in there that's got a lot of stuff in there. More and more people's going to the gym. So if you just want to go work out, and everybody makes a New Year's resolution to go work out, they've got a little, you can pay, I think, $5 for the day or one time to try it. You can just do it month by month. You don't have to lock into no long-term year lease or whatever, pay up front type stuff. So if you need home health, which that's a whole, I don't know nothing about that, but if you need home health, you can call the office and check them out. But you want to go to the gym, pretty good gym. They've got a roll table, sauna stuff in there. You can get in all kinds of different equipment in there. Turbo trailer, you need a horse trailer. You need one fixed. You need tires put on it. Anything to do with a trailer, even flatbed trailers, whatever. Right down the road here at Olton, 3 miles away. Yeah. Run down there at Turbo Trailer. Talk to them. CD's in there. Grace, I think she's still coming into the office some. Appreciate them. The Turnbow family is the reason we're out here in that with Brother Carl and Sister Grace's leadership and the rest of the family as well that allowed this to happen out here, and that God made all that work. So I'm very appreciative of Turnbow. So if you got a trailer need, run in there and check out Turnbow Trailers and holler at them and check them out. What's going on. So tax needs, you have a tax need. Tax season's right around the corner. Go holler at Rusty Purnell in there at Parco Tax and Services, and he can get you fixed up on that. So if you have a tax need and your tax accountant you're not happy with, or you're going to change or whatever, give Rusty a holler in there at Parco Tax and see that. But you don't have to be a corporation to be this. We do individuals, families. We got several families on here. Watkins family's one of them. It's been individuals, Travis Holloway, Ted and Alicia Crocker. My Travel Misha, I missed him and didn't have my glasses on. Another great company. You want to take a vacation of any type, a kind, holler at Stacy Reese at My Travel Misha. A lot of these places she's been, she goes and tries them out. Yep. She don't want to send her people to some place that she wouldn't be happy or wasn't happy going. So if you need any type of travel, vacation arrangements, domestically here in the U.S. or abroad, holler at Stacy and she can fix you up on that. I have been to most of these places. She's going to try to send you on that, so holler at her for that. But I've got Donna Sheila Ferris, Howard and Janice Clark, Leonard and Debbie Spencer, Gordon Deacon Art. It was good to see Leonard last night. He's in from a job, so he was at church Sunday and at our men's meeting last night. Hadn't got to talk to him for a few months. I think he said he left in August, something like that. So good to see Leonard back. Gordon D. Kennard. Gordon's one of our elders. Here, MD, great people. Again, Genesis Home Health, Turnbow Trailer, Parco Tax, My Travel Misha. Watkins family, thank you. Appreciate all their support through the years. Travis Holloway, appreciate Travis, and Ted and Alicia Crocker. So thank you guys. We do have our internet up and running. Kelly touched on it yesterday. ccc-ok.net is that. They're keeping the calendar. Doug and her's been working hard on that. If you have a question, don't ask me. Call the church office. Kelly can get you in on that because I don't know. I don't deal with none of that stuff, so she can fill you in. Or if you got something, upcoming event or something, they can probably get that on her. Just let her know dates, times, all that stuff. Or other churches, we're not opposed to helping out other churches in that. We ain't again working against each other. Need to be advancing the kingdom of God. So holler, that's back up. What's that little thing on your phone called? Them little deals.
PushPay app.
Yeah, do we still that app
Yeah,
still up?
that app is still
So
up.
we got an app on PushPay on that stuff like that as well. So if that's if you want to give, we can always, again, I'm not one to hound and hammer on money. But as you know, we do a lot here, and everything we do is for free. We got our boys camp coming up again this summer of 2024, Lord willing. Thank you. We got that paid for. That was about a $10,000 deal. It's not a huge amount of money, but it is if you don't have it. And thank for all the sponsors on that. We've got that coming we could use the money for. Building upgrades, we've just been doing some of them. We'd like to upgrade the arena a little bit, get back to using that. But all those things takes money. And the way that we have money is people give. Sometimes they'll give us the pipe. Sometimes they'll give us the dirt, give us the gravel, give us the lumber, whatever it is. So, again, if you have something like that, again, I'm not sitting there begging, howling, and crying, but the Bible says you have not because you ask not. So financially, we can always use it, whatever, for this podcast, again, for children's ministry, our arena ministry, the shooting range. We have a lot of people use that shooting range now that come down. All that's free. The classes we do free. We don't charge anybody. People ask me about the mountain. I said, if you can donate something to it for whatever you feel led to do, we'll put it right back in there to buy more targets, to buy more target stands, to keep the range upgraded or whatever. If it's the rodeo arena, same thing. It goes into that. The church, there's always something broke here. There's always something needing fixed here with the amount of use. We went about 5 weeks and done funerals and weddings here every Friday and Saturday for about 5 weeks. Hundreds of people coming through. Not complaining, but with that many people, things break, things get used, things wear out. So again, because you guys give of your time, of your talents, of your resources, goods, services, and finances is why we're able to do what we do. So as this year wraps up, we're in the last week of 2023, and this Sunday will be the last Sunday of 2023 and kick off into 2024. Again, man, look at that, pray about it. Again, don't give grudgingly or under compulsion, but be a cheerful and a willful giver. And God will bless that. I promise you, He will bless. I'm not saying you're going to give 1,000 and get 10,000. Not saying that. But do what God lays on your heart to give. I ain't one to hammer you on giving 10% because God might want you to give 30. That's His business on how much and what, when, and how you give. But I'm just going to put that out there. If you can help financially, I promise you we're not fancy. We don't blow it around as you come here and look, but we have what we have works, and we're about helping people, helping families, doing things that kids that may not have the money to come, right, they're not turned away to come. Exactly. We've got good help. Kelly's very, I don't want to say strict. I don't know if that would be the word about the money and things like, which we need that, don't get me wrong. And stuff stays on top of it. Anytime you want to know what's in there or whatever, she can tell you. She ain't going to tell you who or what gives. She can tell you exactly where it went, what it done. I mean, with the click of a mouse and the button and maybe off the top of her head. So again, a lot of churches, people worry about that. We can account for every dime that goes through the books or whatever that we have out here, be it cash or a check or credit card donation or whatever. So don't worry about that. I know a lot of people do. I believe not just because I've been a pastor here for almost 30 years, it's good ground to sow in. Amen. Because it's not about me. It's not about Crossroads Community Church. It's about Jesus and helping people to walk and grow spiritually, but also physically, and to have a place to come to enjoy, whether it's a rodeo arena, a shooting range, or music, or whatever it is, to be there to help people, whether from the food pantry to the other ministries that we do and have. So again, if you want to be part of that, you don't have a church phone, come and try us out. We've had a lot of new people coming and going in there and get to meet some people. And we're not fancy, we're not flashy, or you're not going to see me, I don't know, doing crazy stuff. I guess some people think I'm crazy, but I'm pretty plain, basic, down to earth. I have problems, I have issues just like everybody else. I'm open about that a lot of times from the pulpit to let people know, hey, I struggle too. But know this, God is good, and we can cast all of our cares and anxieties on Him. So you got anything you want to say?
No, I think you've covered
I
everything.
pretty much I got on a roll today. But she asked me what I drank. I come in a little bit hyper, which I drank a little extra coffee today. But whatever. But anyway, God bless you. Remember, it's faith over fear, Christ over crisis, and you can remain calm in the chaos.